Boy, Flash games, they sure are something. A free accessible method to play various video games with just a laptop? I sure do hope they last forever. Ow. I used to very much enjoy Flash games. As a child who used to very much enjoy video games but didn't have constant access to them, this was amazing. You tell me I can play dress-up Sonic for the low price of nothing? And while Flash games themed around different video game characters is what I played the most, I want to focus on completely original IPs. Now, a game I don't feel receives enough credit is Happy Wheels. Sure, look this up on YouTube and you're graded to 200 Toby Games Happy Wheels videos. Oh wait, that's only Season 1. My mistake. 552 Happy Wheels videos. But if you look past that, this was a pretty good game. It was home to a tool that was easy to use for creations, and a lot of fun and unique levels. Hell, I even made some levels of my own. They were horrible, but it was still a great tool for creation. Although a big problem that still plagues this game is the lack of original ideas. A 30th bottle throw challenge? Yes please. You're telling me I can look at naked chicks in a video game? Of course I'm gonna rate 5 stars, are you kidding me? The amount of repeated garbage in Happy Wheels is honestly kind of ridiculous. Sure, every once in a while you find a gem, but there's only so many road swings a man can take before cyanide is the only way out. But all in all, this is a really nice tool for content creation. But come on Jim, where the hell is our Happy Wheels 2? I don't really want it, most people probably don't really want it, but come on man, at least update the game. Now, a game that I never really played during my more formative years, but I've heard a lot about is Fancy Pants Adventure. But I know it holds a deep, burning, passionate place in a lot of people's hearts, so I decided to take a look at it today. And man, I adore this game. This has some of the best physics in any 2D platformer, and it's a free Flash game on Newgrounds. Fancy Pants is split up into 2 games, both being a separate level from the game. And while this doesn't make for a lot of raw Fancy Pants Adventure playing time, the amount of stuff crammed into this is pretty spectacular. It feels like you walk 10 steps and boom! Bonus room. These games are jam-packed full of secrets, which are great for increasing the length of the game, but it also breaks up the pace a bit. Since running through this game is so much fun, slowing down for a bonus room, well, can be a bit tedious. That being said, they are optional, which means you can choose between a fun, quick experience or a slow one. Something that the second game excels in, though, is the backgrounds. Now, the backgrounds in the original are fine. They're acceptable. They reek of white supremacy, but hey, that's fine. But in contrast, the backgrounds in 2 are just exceptional. Although one bad thing that comes from this is the fact that some parts don't have as clear of platforms as others. There's a couple sections in 2 where I just can't tell what's a platform and what's not, which can get kind of frustrating. Another thing I don't like about Fancy Pants comes from its Flash game nature. You have to play this with a keyboard, which isn't terrible, but also it is. There's some pretty exact jumps in this game that just aren't suitable for keyboard, which isn't that bad considering there aren't many bottomless pits in this game, but when there are, they sure do suck. My last gripe with this game is that a lot of the enjoyment comes from the controls. As I said, this game feels phenomenal, but the level design is kind of boring. The sequel does a bit of a better job than the first game, but when it comes down to things, the level design didn't seem like a priority. There's some cool ideas that I like, but at the end of the day, this game is carried by your boy, Fancy Pants himself. Which isn't a bad thing, don't get me wrong. You could put this guy in Smurfs 2 the game and it would be an 8 out of 10. Although I would prefer some more thought out level design. But hey, this is coming from the guy who made The Old Man Part 2 and Happy Wheels, so take whatever I say with a grain of salt. Now our next couple games are ones I did grow up with, which means, oh god, oh fuck, what's that over there? Oh no guys, it's bias. Now when you hear the name Riddle School, how many titles do you think a game like that should have? 1, 2, 3? Bitch, there's 7, plus a remake. Starting off with the first game, and yeah, it's a game, you don't really do much, but it's a game, it's kinda over before it begins. But hey, fun fact, this game was originally gonna be way more exciting. You were originally supposed to escape through a school shooting. You think I'm making this shit up? Of course I'm not making this up. A final complaint I have is that the music is not good. I mean, a cute little school escape game is fine, but you have to listen to the whole time. The sequel to Riddle School 1 is pretty similar to the original, all things considered. You escape from class, you do some things, you escape the school. The difference being that in Riddle School 1, you do like 2 things and boom, the government will never know what hit him. You're gone. In this game, you actually have to do more. Not a lot, but it's a big improvement over the first game. The third Riddle School is where things start to get spicy. Everything's improved. The music's better, the game itself is longer, there's some funny stuff here. Hell, I chortled. This game is where things start to get good. For example, the Lady of Monkeys who doesn't like monkeys. That wasn't in the first game. Although something a lot more noticeable in this game is that some jokes didn't age well. I mean, I'm sure these are funny, but I'm a stupid baby who was born in 2005. So they're not. Another pretty cool thing in this game is that if you beat it 2 times in a row, you're greeted to a monkey. The first game didn't have that either. So I mean, if I had to guess, this game would probably be a 10 out of 10. Now, the 4th Riddle School game is great. It really is, for speedrunners that is, because if you click on anything in this game, you instantly die and the game's over. So yeah, that's Riddle School 4. I go back and forth on whether this or the 3rd game are better. This game has better cutscenes, some pretty nice music and updated visuals, but Riddle School 3 is a game, that's a huge win in my book. So your boy Phil Eggtree's dead. There's nowhere you can go from here. And yeah, that's what a coward would say, 3 more games! In Riddle School 5, you get kidnapped by aliens, which is one way to change up the formula of a game. You went from small-scale school adventure of 1 and 2, then you went to a slightly bigger school in 3, and then there was 4, which was 4, and now you've got full space adventure. This game's pretty fun though. There's a lot more oh fuck moments in this game. A lot of the puzzles are more thought out, except for the tile puzzles blow. Hell, even the ending's good. You have to revisit the old Riddle School games. Hell, this game is more Riddle School 4 than Riddle School 4. It's great. But that's not exactly where this game ends. The game actually ends with more tile puzzles, which is cool. I don't know why they had such a great ending, but then they didn't end the game. I mean, the tile puzzles are fine, but come on, honestly, this game is a great point-and-click adventure. It just doesn't really fit the Riddle School lore. We ain't done with the greatest space trilogy of all time, though. We still have the Riddle Transfer games, and yeah, these are games. Our main protagonists are enjoying the whole not being dead thing, but unfortunately things aren't that simple because, boom, reverse terrorism. You've been kidnapped by the government for harboring an alien, and you have to escape. While yes, this is a good game, I don't see why it has to exist. Riddle School 5 was a great ending to the series, and this game just feels like more of Riddle 5. I mean, I can't be too mad that there's more free video games than I want there to be, but come on, did Riddle Transfer really have to happen? And with that being said, Riddle Transfer 2. Okay, come on, Jonachrome, real funny. Another Riddle School game? I mean, I guess this isn't Riddle School, it's in the name, guys. It's Riddle Transfer. But you ain't fooling anyone, this is a 7th Riddle School game. Okay, now that I've finished complaining, this game's really fun and well done. The puzzles are the best they've ever been, the music is really nice, and it caps off the franchise really well. Basically, you escape from the government. It's a Riddle Transfer 1 thing you wouldn't understand. So, you go through a portal which teleports you to the original Riddle School, but oh no, things are a little different this time, because aliens. Most importantly, Quiz, an alien that looks like the funny skeleton man from Undertale. And boom, that's the plot. You gotta reclaim your school back from Quiz, you do that and Quiz is all like, maybe being evil isn't for me. But oh no, there's a giant fucking laser, because Diz, a character from Riddle 5 and Riddle Transfer, I skipped a lot of plots from these games by the way, backstabs you and tries to blow up your planet, even though you don't want that. So you and Quiz go up into space, and after all this, after all these games, how do you end it? More tile puzzles! Now, I've bitched and moaned about tile puzzles for about half of this video now, but come on. Imagine if Final Fantasy VII ended with a game of tic-tac-toe. Tile puzzles are the best way to slow down the pace of an otherwise great ending. They're not horrible, but they kinda are. So anyways, Quiz sacrifices his life, you go down to Earth, Smiley, the character that smiles a lot, hugs you, and apparently that leads into marriage. Because why not? If you're gonna have a boy and a girl in a game, you have to make them date. Otherwise, you're breaking the 5th Amendment. All in all, there didn't have to be a Riddle Transfer 2, but I'm glad there is. The ending was incredibly cheesy, but I liked it, goddammit. And finally, the Riddle series is over. While this is a really good series, it drags on a bit too long for my liking. But man, playing this game was what I could only describe as fun. Speaking of fun, this next game isn't. Now, I don't like to get into politics on this channel, but quote fucking blows. And I'm not being mean in saying that. It's supposed to blow. That's kind of Bennett Foddy's thing. He's also responsible for such games as Flop, Gerp, and Clop. Clop is like if you had the Paralympics, but you took away the wheelchairs. You have to control the thighs and calves separately. It sucks. I mean, I guess this is art, but oh boy, I personally don't like it. But I did over 50 meters in this game, which is for sure tombstone worthy. But if you want to feel worthless for up to 1 to 1,000 minutes, play co-op. Speaking of feeling worthless, the impossible quiz exists, which is a sentence I wish I didn't have to say, but hey, fuck me I guess. The impossible quiz is a quiz that seeks to make you not very happy, for the way of being a pain. This quiz dares to ask such daring questions as, Nay Winnie, can a matchbox, and
Snow pattern sharks in the
Oh, this game is supposed to be annoying, but unlike QWOP, it's actually pretty fun. Although the answers are pretty clever or funny. But others do what I like to call not making any fucking sense. I like this game a lot, but man, I don't like this game a lot. It's really fun, but man, instant game overs and that ending can go away and think about what they've done. But this is how you do a rage game right. Oh, and the Impossible Quiz has free sequels, which I really would play, but man, I'm pretty busy later. I've got an assisted suicide to get to.